Cloud. And then I guess we'll get started. I'm going to start off, but then I have our other leaders that are going to talk also, and then I'll finish you up. But hello, I'm so glad you joined us. Just showing up to the Zoom call shows your commitment to the business and to setting your goals for 2019. The Bible says in Proverbs 29:18 that when there is no vision, the people perish. So our hope tonight is that we will help you cast a vision for your life for 2019 in all areas of your life, but especially for your business. New year, when it's starting, it's like a clean slate, a fresh start, full of potential. And I have set goals for 2 years now. We went to goal setting workshops with Edie 2 years in a row, and it's pretty much changed my life. Like setting goals, I never really knew what that meant or how to do that. Like, yes, we set like these big goals, like, oh, I'd like to do this, but actually doing it is another story. And so this is just the start that I'm really hoping that helps you in 2019. I'm going to talk just for a few minutes about tangible goals. Most people set a goal that isn't tangible, like I want to lose weight, or I want to hit gold, or I want a new car, just very ambiguous goals, but they never make a plan of how to actually accomplish the goal. And in order to accomplish a goal, you need more details to succeed. You can't just say, I want to lose weight, and poof, it happens. You have to actually have action steps to do. So for example, I have set a goal to finish our attic into living space. It's a great goal, but it's not a tangible goal if I don't have it broken down into what that looks like and how it's going to happen. So I have made a materials list. I've figured out how much all those materials are going to cost. I've broken that down into how much it would cost per week I'd have to set aside in order to make that goal happen, and then set a date from when I'd like to see that happen. So it's something that is tangible because I know that if I follow the steps that I've laid out, it could happen. Now, does that mean it's going to happen? No, but every little step I take is one step forward in that goal. So you just want to set a goal, make a list of how you're going to get to that goal and a time frame of when you would like to see that goal finished, and then it becomes a goal that can actually happen. When I think of tangible goals, your tangible goals, number one, are going to reveal your truest desire. So if you set a goal to lose weight, and you're like, in order for me to lose weight, I'm going to do Whole30 and I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, then that's showing your desire to lose that weight is huge because you've made actual steps to get you there. A tangible goal also will give you focus because you have to make a plan. And if you make the plan, then you're going to focus on each step to get there. A tangible goal will give you a way to measure your progress because you have step by step and how long it's going to take. And as you finish one little thing, you can check it off. Isn't it so great to check something off? I love to check something off. I will go back and write things on my list that I didn't have on the list, just so that I have a checked off list, even if it was silly. A tangible goal will help you overcome procrastination because you're going to want to hit those goals. And you're not going to want to be like, if we're going on the whole weight thing, I can lose weight. Well, I can just start again tomorrow. Oh, I'll just start it. You've made step by step, so therefore you won't procrastinate on it. And a tangible goal builds character because you're going to have to be very specific, very focused in on doing those goals. So your character is going to build as you do that. So how do you set a tangible goal? Decide what you really want in life. Decide what you really, really, really want to accomplish. That's your deepest desire. Decide where you want to see that goal in 1 year. And then decide where you want to see that specific goal or your life in 3 years. If you do that, then it's easier to pinpoint what you want to do. So one of my other girls can go ahead and jump on and talk now. I'm going to mute me. All right, where's one of my girls?
Hey girls, who's going?
Go next. Kay, do you want to go next? It doesn't matter to me.
I'll go. Hi guys. All right, so I'm Kay Simpson. I'm from Georgia. I didn't want to hop on when we were all talking, but I see some of my Georgia girls and it's so exciting to have everybody here. I'm so excited. So yay. One of my goals, which is not kind of typical, I just heard about this book called Do the Micro Work. So we're always like big focus goals, big team goals, all that kind of stuff. And so I've decided I need to do like the micro work, like there's a verse, and it's in Matthew. It's the parable about the lost sheep and how he leaves the 99 and goes after the one and carries them on his shoulder. So to me, it was just kind of telling me, instead of focusing on the big group all the time, not to unfocus on them, to focus on the interpersonal stuff and getting to know my people one-on-one, and that one person that may need me, that may need, you know, a little extra focus. So it was good. You know, I thought, here's a big goal for me, because I've not always been so great at that. So I wanted to come up with, I wrote down 10 things, and I'm sure you can come up with some more on your own, but it's just something I had never thought of, you know, the micro work. And I started kind of Googling that and looking it up, and it was just pretty amazing, you know, what we can do. So my ideas were, you know, like when somebody joins my team, I know we're not all in the same cities. We're not all, you know, right up under each other. Some of us have small teams, some of us have big teams. But, you know, I think a little bit of one-on-one, no matter what, is not going to hurt anything. And somebody might need it. It might be that one person that just needs that little extra push or that little extra interpersonal stuff. So I put a goal to friend my team members when they join the group. I'm going to friend them on social media so that I can be involved in their life and them with me as well. You know, comment on their posts. If you see they're having a struggle, you know, offer a comment or something, and introduce myself in our big group, you know, encourage sharing and introducing people in that group. For me to become more approachable myself is a goal. Watch my response, welcome them individually. You know, we always do that in our small group, to welcome people and to encourage when they rank up or when they sign up their first person, you know, just celebrate the victories with them, and encourage this with the downline as well, you know, all the way down. And send text. You know, we all have those, we can send text through the OLE tools. There's also that project broadcast, which a lot of us haven't figured out yet, but we know it works. You can send text, you can send a card in the mail the old-fashioned way. You know, you can send an email. Invite them to coffee. You know, here in locally, we try to get together for coffee. You know, if that's possible for you, do that. Get to know people. I mean, I had like 20 something of my girls out to my house at Christmas, which could have been really, really scary. And I just sucked it up, made it a goal, and put it out there and made it happen. And it was amazing how they just, you know, latched onto each other. And one of my goals is to do like a team dinner once a quarter or some kind of meeting or something, so we all get to know each other even more. It's easy no matter where we are to pray for each other. I mean, you can do that no matter where. And if you need to, make them a link and say, here's how you sign up people, here's how you do it, mentor them, offer to mentor them. You know, it just takes a lot of time and intention and focus to do these things, but I don't think it will be lost, and you may have a bunch of new friends as well. So do the micro work, friends. That's my goal. So keep me accountable. All right, Denise.
I'll jump in. That was really good, Kay. I was starting to write them down because I'm terrible at micro work. I'm in here now tonight, and it says my name's Tessa, but I'm really not her. I don't know why my computer's coming up as my daughter. But I have a confession to make. I am terrible at goal setting. Every year I have this knot in my stomach that I have to go to a goal setting thing. I don't like writing things down. I don't like having a plan. Is anyone with me, or am I the only person that hates making Thank you, oh sick one. I'll have to look to see who you are again. I am terrible. But I want to tell you, and I could probably do this in tears, the first time I went to Edie's goal setting thing, I understand now why I'm like this, because I'm an Enneagram 1. And I have such a fear of failure that I won't set myself up by making a goal that it might not happen, so I won't even do a goal. And that has really crippled me. And I'm a big one on like making exciting plans. Like I have a couple quotes here for you. It says, if you don't set goals, your mind will become stagnant. Goal setting is good stewardship of your right brain imagination. Now, I can keep my right brain stimulated because I will make goals of things that I want to do that I am completely in control of. I want to throw a party. I want to take a trip. I want to do something that I think I can do without a ton of faith involved. I'm really good at that. I always have something that I'm working towards. That isn't the problem. But if it's a goal that involves abundance I have a real poverty mindset. You know, I'm willing to take risks. I'm willing to do crazy things and to have these awesome moments. But when it came to make a goal about a business, everyone else was writing during our goal setting. And I'm like, I have to think about that because of my fear of failing. So, you know, in our very first one, we held it in December of 2016. So it was our 2017 goals. At that point, my highest paycheck had been $1,300 and my highest OGB was like almost 17,000. My goal was to help Kelly hit silver, to help another gal on our team to hit silver, to create memories, to have some good money for the future, nothing specific. And then I put maybe $2,500 a month, because it was so scary for me to write something that I might fail. So April Pointer says, if you don't emotionally connect to something in the future, it's hard to get something done today. I did not emotionally connect to being anything past a silver. And as most of you know, I hit that accidentally. I didn't even know what I was doing. It was totally Kelly, Candace, everybody else working. And I was like, I didn't even understand these ranks. And all of a sudden I was a silver, and Edie had me on stage saying, tell everyone how it feels to be a silver. I'm like, I have no idea. I don't even know how I got here. So for me, I did not say, I want to hit gold, because had I done that, I'd have been paying attention to having the legs that you need to hit gold. And I would have been working towards that. But instead I was just like, oh, I don't know, maybe a few people will buy something and maybe I could up my income a little. That is a bad mistake, Come around to last year. Now, some of the goals I made, I got a little better second time around. I was like, okay, you know, it's on my list for like 3 years in a row, hit gold. Do you know why I'm not gold? Because I didn't do it in the beginning and make good plans for it. But I will say that last year, I got very specific. The year before I got a little better. Last year I got very specific. I think we even did something halfway through the year that helped out Kelly too. We did it like in May. And then I'm getting a little like braver with writing something down and not fearing the failure as much. But a few things I wrote down last year was, I wanted to connect to something in the future, so I had a reason to work hard. Well, not just to make money, because that's hard for me to do that. But I said, I want to take my whole family on a vacation together. We were able to do that this year, and that was at Thanksgiving. We took everyone to Florida. I wanted to get involved in a charity that I could really get behind and I could throw myself into and be able to have a place that when I made all that big money, I would have a place to like funnel it in. And God provided that for me this year. I had a goal to do better at exercise, which I'm exercise resistant. And I ride a bike 45 minutes a day. So, I mean, yay. I know the rest of them, go ahead. You're all doing CrossFit. I'm riding my bike, listen to a book on tape, and I'm not going to lie, I eat a piece of chocolate while I'm doing it. I mean, that's what keeps me going. What could I say? And it was another goal I had. This is a really minor one, but to make the time to do some read alouds to my grandchildren on Marco Polo. I did several of those this year. But I want to just say that I wrote down some numbers here because I think it's very fascinating. Even without me being intentional, God is so faithful. And I did put myself out there. I mean, I do feel like I worked hard. I just didn't plan well. And because I didn't plan well, it crippled my business as far as ranking goes. But there's still been so much growth. Just for instance, the first year, highest paycheck, I think I told you, $1,300. The second year, highest paycheck, $5,300. OGB of 76,000. This past year, where I was a little more intentional, highest paycheck was over $10,000 and OGB over $200,000. That is a 1 month paycheck, girls. I'm just telling you though, I could have had much higher paychecks and not, I mean, I am thankful for what I have. I'm just saying I have missed gold rank. I have missed platinum rank, even though the OGB is there, because I did not make solid plans. Kelly's a planner. She had this plan out. Her legs are set up right. She's outranked me by 2 ranks. Candace has outranked me, and she's below me because they plan. What's that thing that says, don't be like Denise, be like Kelly, be like Candace. Don't be like me. Show up, make big, scary goals, and get it done. You will be glad when you look back and you say, I didn't have to be like Denise. I could be like Kelly and Candace. Mwah. Candace's turn.
Try to unmute myself. You guys are awesome. I love how we did not talk about what we all were going to talk about, but it all fits together. God is cool like that. So I'm going to share with you, as you are setting your goals this week, 3 questions to ask yourself, 1 question to not ask yourself, and then I have a Bible verse I'm going to share, and I want to show you real quick. The quotes that I'm pulling that I'm going to share are from this book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, highly recommended, and Atomic Habits, which I just started, but it's already rocking my world. So that's where all my stuff is coming from. All right, questions I want you to ask yourself as you are setting goals. First, what is required? So this makes you think about, what do you need to do to get where you want to go? And if we're talking about business goals, what do you need to do to get a bigger paycheck or to get your rank, whatever your goal is, what is required? And generally speaking, in this business, that comes back to enrolling, getting people on ER, educating your people, and getting business builders underneath you. So once you've asked yourself what is required, then comes your next question. What is working and what gives you your greatest return? So this is a little trickier, and it can be very personal, very individual. What works for you may not work for me, and what works for me in this business may not work for you. But look at your own personality. Look at your color, your Enneagram, all of that stuff. Look at what you love. Look at what you're passionate about, like what makes you come alive when you're doing this business. What is working? Do you love teaching classes, or do you love going out to coffee and having lunch with a friend? Or do you love sharing on social media? Or do you love, what do you love? What makes you come alive? Do you love sharing the products and what is helping you with your emotions? Or do you love doing fun classes or things like that? So look at what is working and what makes you come alive. So what is required? What is working? What makes you come alive? And that leads me to the question I want you to not ask. I want you to not ask yourself, can I? And I want you to instead ask yourself, how can I? So let me tell you the difference. When you say, can I, for instance, can I hit silver? Can I sign up a person? Can I do this? That automatically places doubt and unbelief in your head. It automatically makes you think, for those of us who struggle with the negative poverty mindset, it makes us think, no, I don't think I can. But when you ask yourself, how can I, that forces you to make a plan. How can I do this? How can I hit silver? Well, I need some things to do. I need some steps to take. I can make a plan. How can I rank up? How can I increase my paycheck? And that goes back to what is required. So ask yourself what is required, what works, what makes you come alive. Don't ask yourself, can I? Instead, ask yourself, how can I? And then you have steps and you can create your plan, just like Kelly was saying. So that leads me to, let's see. Okay. I'm going to kind of switch gears a little bit, but it all ties together in the end. These steps, when you look at your steps and your plan for what is required to get to whatever your goal is, they seem like small, insignificant things. All those micro things that Kay was talking about, they seem small, and you might look and you might say, oh my goodness, I texted 5 people, I wrote a thank you note, I had this class, I reached out to such and such, and I don't see any progress. It's kind of like my health journey, my weight loss journey. I could say, I had a salad and I have not, lost any weight yet or whatever. What it takes is perseverance and continuing to do those seemingly small steps, those good choices, those things you need to do day in and day out. Tons of tiny steps day after day. If I had given up after a week of eating salad and not seeing any change, look what I would have missed out on. Where would I be today if I had given up after just a few weeks of seeing no progress? Listen to what this book says, this one. As you get started, it may not look like you're making progress. That doesn't matter. Don't give up. Pritchett says that everything looks like a failure in the middle. Listen, this is so fascinating. You can't bake a cake without getting the kitchen messy. Halfway through surgery, it looks like there's been a murder in the operating room. If you send a rocket to the moon, about 90% of the time, it goes off course and it fails its way to the moon by continually making mistakes and correcting the path as you go. So many times we get stuck in that plateau or that disappointment stage, or where we don't see much progress, but breakthrough is right around the corner. And that quote came from this book. So many of us get stuck in the valley of disappointment stage, not realizing that breakthrough is right around the corner. So perseverance is so huge in your goal setting. So what is required? What makes you come alive? What works? What doesn't work? Don't say, can I? Say, how can I? And I am going to finish up with a verse from Hebrews chapter 12, one of my favorite verses that goes so perfectly with what everybody is saying. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, that's you guys, we are here together on this team, God ordained, all together to cheer each other on. And we are surrounded by each other to love each other, to pray for each other, to cheer each other on. So let us lay aside every weight, all those things that aren't working, all the comparison, all the thief of joy, all those things that don't make us come alive, that aren't bringing us where we want to get with our goals. Lay that aside, and the sin that so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him who endured such hostility from sinners against himself, lest you become weary and discouraged in your souls. So that's my encouragement for you tonight. Back to you, Kelly.
Wow, that was all so good. When we decided to do this, we didn't talk about it. We just said, everyone just talk 5 minutes about something about goals. I don't know. We don't have time to figure this out. Just do 5 minutes. And it's amazing that we all 5 spoke about something different, but yet all tied together. So that's pretty cool. All right, now you need your journal. I found an old one. I forgot to buy one. I told y'all to get one and I forgot to buy myself one. So you need your bullet journal. I don't know. We are going to be doing the stuff out of ULA. This is ULA, women, whatever. But how many of you, with a show of hands, have read or know anything about the ULA guys? I know Ginger does because they're her favorite. So some of you do. All right. I love the ULA guys. So ULA, it says what ULA means. The word means the state of awesomeness that comes when your life is balanced and growing where it should be. And that's our goal in our whole life, is that we are balanced in every area so that we can be happy. You know, if we're really stressed out in one certain area, then that affects everything else. So the more balance we can get in every area, the better we're going to be. So if you don't know the story of the ULA guys, we have in the Business Bootcamp page, all the videos that go along with this book are in there. If you search ULA, I'm not sure they're in a file, but we'll get them there if they're not. But they're all in there. Are they in Salty? Oh, they might be in the Salty Sisters. Yes, I think they are. All right, so look in one of those groups. Find the ULA videos and get watching them because they're really good. But the ULA guru, who is the guy that wrote the book, he teaches you how to create balance in those areas. So I'm going to walk you through how we did it. The very first goal setting workshop we did with Edie. I'm going to walk you through and show you how they did that. So in your notebook, we're going to write 2019 goals. All right. So in ULA, there are 7 areas of your life that we're going to deal with, and they all start with the letter F. And if you look in Young Living, there are oils that go along with each of these. So good to know. All right. First one is going to be family. So you are going to rate each area of your life in a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being crap, I need help, and 10 being I'm amazing. All right, so just be honest. You're the only one that's going to see this, but it's a good way for you to gauge what you need to do. So the first one is family. I want you to think about your current family life, like how your day-to-day with your family looks. The family time, the time you have to spend with your family, how does that look to you? Is that how you want it to be? Do you want more? Do you need less? Whatever that is. And then how does your family function? So think of family and rate it from 1 to 10. How well do you think you're doing family? Think about that. Give yourself a number. Right now, some of you are like, oh, great.
I've unmuted because I'm looking back at my 2017 when we did this with Edie. And you know what? I don't have a number next to any one of them. It was so stressful for me. I just couldn't do it. I wrote some goals, but I'm like, can't do that. Can't write some of that stuff down. I'm terrible.
Oh, that's all right. We're getting better though. So now that you have family, we're going to do the next one. The next one's going to be friends. How does that part of your life look? Do you have fulfilling relationships? How are the quality of your friends? Do your friends like lift you up and encourage you and get you where you want to go? Or are they bringing you down? Are they dragging down your life? How is the quantity? Do you have enough friends to help you in your journey? Think of your friends. What number would you put there? The next one is faith. So how do you feel in your faith? Do you feel like your life is like has a higher purpose? Like, are you plugged in at church? How's your prayer life, Bible study? Do you feel like it could be better? Do you feel like you have a good control of that? So faith. The next one is fitness. This is the one we all hate. How do you feel in your current health, your ideal weight, your exercise goals, that kind of thing? Where does that fall? How do you feel about that? The next one is field, and that would be your work. So how's your current job situation? Do you love it? Do you wish it was different? Sandra, why are you laughing? They want to know. Your job, does your job provide for you? Do you feel like it's doing enough? Do you love your job? Are you exhausted? Rate your job. The next one is Candace's favorite. Fun. Rate your fun. This is Mom's real favorite because she brings the fun to everything. How much fun are you having in this life? Do you feel like your life is fun, or do you dread getting up every day? And then the last one is finance. Do you have financial freedom? What does your debt load look like? Is your income covering what you need or want? All right, now that you have those rated, and if you haven't rated it, you need to think on it. But now that you've had them rated, I want you to, next to each one of those, make like a punch list of 1 to 3 items that you want to see different in those. Now, if you have one that like you are a 10 and you're like, I am killing this subject of my life, then maybe that one doesn't need any. But all of us, I'm sure, half of those are barely hanging on. So come up with some things that you want to see different. Health falls under fitness, Darcy. So just put that under there. So whatever those are, just broad, like if it's fitness, say I want to lose this much weight or whatever it is. Yes, Kelly, inner child. Inner child is the oil for people with no blue. Get slathering that inner child. So once you have that, which I totally get, this is going to take you more time than I'm allowing because it kind of feels awkward to me if it's just quiet, even though I know you're all working. I should sing a song or something. But it would be great if I know in the ULA book, he talks about how the guru, every night before he goes to bed, he gets an index card and he writes down 3 things that he wants to accomplish the next day that help him towards those goals he's written down. And then the next day he carries that card, and at the end of the day, if he's accomplished them, he rips them up and throws them in a jar. And so at the end of the year, he has a whole jar of ripped up accomplishments that he's done. And it's just a little like visual of, oh wow, I did all that. So you may not hit the goals all the goals, but you can see that jar and be like, but I did all that. I knocked all that out of the list. And our bullet journal ends up being the same thing. You write down those things you want to do each day and check them off. And at the end of the year, you end up with 2 or 3 full books of lists that you've done and checked off because you made a list. Try to see if I have it. You keep writing your things, making sure I covered everything before my girls that are leading with me, do you think I forgot anything in here in the ULA stuff that you remember that you want to pull out? The only other thing I wrote down was it's a quote in there and it says, you were designed for greatness and with a unique purpose. So go out there and do it. But anybody want to? Yeah.
One of the things Edie said when under the friends category was that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you kind of think about your friends, like what Kelly said, are they positives in your life? Are they encouraging you? And specifically when it comes to this business, you want to be surrounded by these kind of women in here that get you and that are going to root for you. We are really the best cheerleaders. And if you have people in your life who are, speaking negatively into your life, then, I'm not saying don't be their friend, maybe get them some oils, but spend the time with the people who are going to encourage you in the direction that God would have you to go. I'm going to look at the rest of the notes from there.
I love what Jenny just wrote it about her daughter's college soccer team. They use the hashtag Unleash Greatness. Love that.
Can I speak?
Yes, Ginger, go ahead.
Well, y'all, I love me some Ola, but you don't understand just thinking about those F's, the 7 F's of Ola, how much they can make a difference in your life, because I have worked really hard, and there are some things that I'm still working on. For one, fitness, which I'm doing Bryn's Whole30 for those that know about that. And I love my job, but I would love to not be chained to it. Finances are getting better, but I have eliminated negativity in my life. I've worked really hard to eliminate anything that's negative, and it's been hard because there have been some friends that I've had for a lifetime, but I woke up when I discovered ULA, and I'll go ahead and confess that I probably embraced ULA before I embraced the whole oily lifestyle, because I love so much what they're about and what they say. And I realized that I had a group of people around me that when I left, I didn't feel good about myself. And that's not good for anybody. So it may be hard, but you need to look at those things and say, when you walk away from a group of people, you should feel good about yourself. And you should feel good about the time you had with them. And so I have done that. And to say, I'm not going to say they're not my friends anymore, but I don't seek them out anymore. And it has made my life so much easier. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And another thing, we have seen ULA speak at the last 2 conventions that we went to, and in person, the energy and the love, and people line up afterwards to go take really fun pictures with them. I don't know, you probably have seen our ULA pictures on the Salty Sister page because they're awesome. But they travel with this VW van, and they go all around the country. And after they speak, they ask people to write a goal on a sticker. I'm going to show you. This was my 2018. This isn't the one on the van, obviously. And you stick it on the van. So their van is totally covered with people's goals that they've set for one of those areas. And like this was my 2018 one. I always get field because that's my hardest thing to, that's what I struggle with the most, is trying to find where I'm supposed to be in business. And so this year's goal in my business was to love and serve well. Took the focus off of success, like financial success or whatever, but to find a way to serve well and then trust that God would multiply that. So in a quote that I've been saying for years, and this is probably the thing that's changed my life the most, like ULA did for Ginger, is the quote that somebody else's success is not my failure. Because many times we just see that everyone else is getting everything done, or they can do it better than we can. And so then we just feel like there's not room for us to do it. And that is just such a lie. There is room for everyone to succeed. God does not play favorites. God is willing and able to bless everybody. And so don't get hung up on what anyone else is doing and comparing yourself to them. Run your own race and trust that God will bless you.
So good. Does anyone in here, I probably will stop the recording for this part, but does anyone want to briefly share like their one business goal for 2019?
That they pointed out, and this was, I think, in 2017, to leverage something you love. So if there's a way to bring oils into something that you love, whatever that would be, whether it's helping people, some people take it to the gym because that's something they love. The other thing is to have a personal development budget. So this is good that we're on a Zoom call, but those books that Candace mentioned and that, it's very important to invest in yourself so that you have the tools to go out and believe in what you're doing. The other thing is to get to know, at least they say, an oil a week, or even if it's an oil month. Know the oil so well that when conversation comes up that you can serve others with it, you know enough about it so you can do it. Darcy, you are new, and that first year, I didn't think that I had much to offer anybody, but I was in a big group, so it kind of snowballed because other people knew stuff that I didn't know. You're going it alone, so it might take you a little longer to learn enough so that you have that good foundation. And then I think this is one of the most important things, and I wish I had done this sooner, is to get educated on Gary's legacy. The more we understand about the legacy of this company, how it was founded, what he poured into it, and why, It's so important to get this in the homes of everybody. The more confidence you're going to have, and then I feel like there's nothing that's going to stop you. But it took me to this year to read that biography on Gary. It has made all the difference. Nobody can talk me out of Young Living now after I read that biography.
Hey, I've got some goals I wrote down. I'm Holly from St. Louis. I didn't introduce earlier. Sorry. Hi, girls. So I put down that I want to teach at least 2 classes a month, at least, and that can be live or online. I like to do a lot on social media. That's kind of where I'm focusing. And then along with that, just really consistently posting valuable, engaging, beautiful content on my social media. So my Facebook and Instagram, 5 days a week, just consistent with that. Someone said something the other day, I think it was Leslie Burris in that group that's coming up, talking about social media. And she's like, because like you said, the small steps sometimes seem like, nothing's happening or whatever. But when you build that content and you're building that brand, and then when that opportunity comes that, like for her, someone shared, a huge name shared her page or whatever. And so she got a huge boost in her engagement and whatnot, but she had a lot of content in there already built up. So it's not a waste, because it's going to be there for whenever God, brings those opportunities. And then I'm executive this year in 2019, definitely executive. So those are mine.
I thought what Leslie Burris said, that was genius. I never looked at it. I always thought it was kind of wasting time, but she is like, if you are building and getting together a lot of good content, and I think that goes with your own personal education too. You might say, well, I'm not seeing this pay off. I'm not seeing this pay off. But when the time comes and you're ready and those people come your way, you will have laid such a foundation that you will be set up for success. And I like when Kelly always goes through the average time it takes to hit something. People look at somebody that got somewhere quickly and they think, oh my goodness, I must be slacking because I'm not this or this or this. The average time to hit some of these goals is like 4 years. It's not like 4 months. And people after 4 months are like, well, I didn't hit that, so I'm going to quit. You have to decide that what you want down the line is worth not quitting, that quitting is not an option. You might have to step back. And the one thing I read, I think I wrote this myself, I was reading through some stuff, and it's like, be willing to make the goals, but also be willing to adjust them if you have to. Like, because I didn't hit gold that time and I didn't hit gold again, I could just say, well, I didn't hit my goal, so I'm not making any more goals and I'm going to quit. Well, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to quit because I didn't make that specific goal. If I have to keep gold again, that's fine. But four of the 5 things I wrote down, I did accomplish. So that means something. Rank is not everything. Those goals have to cover everything. And rank is just rank. Those other things have to have value in them outside of a Young Living rank. Pick goals that you want, even if they're not tied to the rank. What's it says? To marry the outcome, but divorce the process? How's that go? Who knows that one? I'll have to look that up. Divorce. What is it, girl?
I think you were right.
It's marry the outcome, but divorce the process. I'm going to look that up while Kelly goes and tells you those things.
I don't know what I was telling you.
How long it takes typically to hit rank?
And this is my bullet journal from this year. So January, I have several now, but I started it. And taped to the front cover is it's the 2016 income disclosure, which I like its format better. So even though the numbers have adjusted a little, I like this one's format, but it tells you on there, like, it takes the average person 15 months to achieve STAR. Now, how many of you hit STAR like in 2 months? Come on. Senior STAR, 22 months. executive 29 months, silver 36 months, gold 54 months, platinum 63 months. That's just the average. Now, there are definitely people that hit it really quickly, and then there are some high ones that, 200 months and they're still not star. They're probably not going to hit star. But I encourage you to Google 2016 Young Living 2016 income disclosure and print it out and put it in the front of your thing. And whenever you get discouraged, go and look and be like, it takes the average person 22 months to hit senior star. I've only been doing this for 4 months. Get a grip. I got this. Okay? So go print that out and tape it to the front so that you have it when you start this year.
And it's marry the process, divorce the outcome, because so much time is spent on what we think that the outcome should be, and God has something totally different. So just stay committed to the process and then be willing to maybe adjust it. I'm not saying don't run for diamond, run for diamond. But the process of getting there ask Candace, is far more important. God's doing a bigger work in the process. You can get to that goal and it could mean nothing. It's what you learn along the way that's going to make all the difference.
Anyone else want to share a goal for 2019?
I'll share. My goal is to hit silver too. I'm like Ginger. I'm ready to hit silver. I'd like to have it be a strong silver by the end of the year.
All righty. You said it. I wrote it.
I came across another quote this week was, you can't hit a target you are not aiming at. So have something out there, girls, that you're going for.
I just want to remind everybody that you can't decide for someone else. And I think that's one of the things that Kay has told me, that Edie has said, that you don't get to decide what somebody else wants. Don't say that person can't afford it. Look, one of my girlfriends that I love so much is on this Zoom call right now. And she reached out to me a long time ago and she said no. And then all of a sudden she turned around and said yes. So you, Gina, I'm talking about you. And she has fallen in love with this. So you don't get to decide for anybody what they want or what they need. You present it to them and then let things happen. Right? I'm going to mute you.
I'm with Ginger and MC. I want to get silver this year. I'm hoping sooner this spring, because I flirted with it in November and that got that little taste there. So am I back? Am I back? I hit something. Anyhow, and I would really like to be like MC. I would like to be close to gold next fall, so I can be there close to it in November, December.
Great goal. Anyone else?
Okay, it's my turn.
All right, Katie, you're
I
up.
think I've tried the last 5 times. Okay. I need to be more intentional about planning, because I'm one of those that flies by the seat of my pants and get a pretty journal and forget to use it. So my next goal is to hit the rank of silver. How I want to do that is, I'm glad, Anne, you brought up, 4 classes a month. I'm going to keep doing that. And to me, classes are not just online classes or in-person classes with lots of people. That could be a one-on-one. It could be a phone call. I mark those as, I check them off my list. So sometimes I have more than 4 classes because I have an accidental conversation with someone who says, oh, I'd like to learn more. I count those. So I count every interaction that I have. I want to follow up using my journal, my planner, with the follow-up 3 days after, 10 days after, and 30 days after, and keep them, those people on my radar. The other thing I want to do is to train 2 leaders a month. So in January, yes, I'll encourage them to go through the boot camp, but I want to spend, some close time with them. My mom being one of them, because her leg will need to go executive. And then I have my personal leg that needs to go executive to hit silver. So those are the 3 goals that I have for January. When I want to hit silver, that's a good question. I don't know if I can put that date there. I'd love to do it in January, but that would be a God thing. And I'll put in the work and see what happens.
Anyone else? All right. Just making sure I'm not missing anyone before I finish up. Well, I hope this was helpful. I hope you take your journal where you wrote all those 7 areas and put out 1 to 3 goals for the year for that, and then start working on those tangible steps to get there. So I guess if no one else has anything they want to add, I will just end it.
Yeah, I will remind you to, if you have the time, even if you do one every couple days, to watch the ULA videos that are in there, then you'll really see the heart of these guys, and it will be very encouraging to you.
And they're super fun. So they're entertaining videos. All right, then I guess we will sign off. Those of you that are coming to the goal setting workshop, we will see you there. We're super pumped about that. I know there's a few of you that are flying in. There's some that are here. So I'm excited. But yeah, thank you all for coming and being intentional. So we will.
You want me to pray before we go?
That would be awesome.
All right. Let's pray. Father God, we just thank you for this time, and we thank you for who you are. And Lord, we just want to give to you all these things we've just written down and discussed. Lord, we want this year to be about you and for you, and not for our own glory or our own achievements, Father. But we do want to be diligent and be good stewards of what you've given us. So, Father, help us to walk that line with grace and with integrity and with faithfulness and consistency to steward well the things you have given us and put on our plates. Lord, help us in all aspects, as wives and mothers and business owners and friends and children of God. Lord, we just place all of this in your hands, and we surrender what the outcome is going to look like, Father, because your plans are always so much better than what we could ever envision. So give us your vision for 2019 and for what you want to happen, Lord. We trust you, we love you, we praise you and thank you, and we just thank you so much for loving us. And I thank you for this precious group of women and how much they mean to me, and I pray that you would just help us to encourage one another daily and to run with endurance the race that you have marked out for us, Lord. We love you, and I pray all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
You can hit
Thanks,
end meeting
Denise.
at the bottom.
Bye. I wanted to do that. So long, farewell. Yeah, all those other words in those other languages.
Auf Wiedersehen.
There you go.
There you go.
Adios. Adieu.
Next week.
Yes, we'll see some of you next week.
Yes, I'm excited.
I wish I could be there.
Me
I
too.
wish we could be here too, Lori.
Oh, it's killing me.
Well, we could maybe FaceTime you in. we could bring Flat Lori with us.
Yeah.
Oh, I love all you guys so much.
I love you too.
Y'all pray for me because I'm going to be driving from Virginia again. So I'm worried about the weather. I don't drive in weather here. So
It doesn't look bad.
pray for good weather. But I'm excited.
Trying to.
I want to stop recording, Kelly.
Thanks.
You're welcome.